Thank you, everyone. Welcome to tonight's regular meeting of the Jamaica Selectboard. It's Monday, February 9th, 7 p.m. The first item of business is to call for any late additions to the agenda. I know you have one, right?
I just wanted to mention an RFP that's going out. So
okay, so an RFP with respect to the Goodallville Bridge. Is that a box culvert or
a culvert?
It is just a culvert.
Yeah.
It's a large culvert. And I will raise an update on the select board membership. And any other late additions? Seeing none. The next order of business is to approve the minutes for the most recent meetings. I will make separate motions. The first is a motion to approve the minutes from the January 12th, 2026 regular meeting.
They were both the 28th. I think we've already approved the 12th.
Oh, the 28th.
12th is approved, yeah.
Yeah,
Both the meetings were on the 28th.
It's 28th,
Yeah.
right. For the 28th.
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The next is to approve the minutes from the January 28th, 2026 budget meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the next order of business is welcome to Green Mountain Power, discussing our existing cooperation agreement and some new projects. Yes, and thank you for the maps.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us. Tim Jones, Green Mountain Power. Don Mills also from Green Mountain Power. Don's actually the OS for the district here, but he's also our constructability expert on the resiliency program we've been doing. So I think we came here a couple of years ago. Our program wraps up in September of this year. And so we just wanted to start out by saying thank you to the town. Thank you to Keith for partnering with us on the project we did do last year, Turkey Mountain. We were able to do, and then we came back and actually got a few more projects approved. There were 3 projects along West Jamaica Road and then Pike Falls Road. We only got to one of the West Jamaica Road projects before we had to call it a season. So we have a couple of projects left to do under our prior approval, and then one of those actually goes over into Stratton, Pike, and then also Pike Falls Road is left over from last year. So I think we were happy with the way Turkey Mountain Road went and the first phase of West Jamaica Road. But so before I ask for anything new, just want to basically again say thank you and just open ourselves to sort of any feedback that the town would like to share. I know we, certainly communications, traffic control, and some of the other things I think that we worked through and some challenging conditions on Turkey Mountain Road. So, but certainly always looking to do better.
Could I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Are all of these projects that you're talking about on the Green Mountain Power website somewhere that we can read about them?
That's a great question. I can take your information and send you the maps directly, then you can actually look at the maps. I actually brought a full color set to the town.
We have new ones, and we can post those on the website. No?
Sure, it's in the big.
But I'll get your email.
They're not big enough?
They're
huge.
They're huge.
Dedicated to the program.
No, on the post on the website.
I'd have to scan
They're
them.
digital. Oh, no, but the digital ones that we got. Just the little maps.
I just saw the printed ones, I got big ones.
Oh yeah, I think I had originally sent my email to Sarah. I didn't realize that she was a treasurer now.
Right.
So all the electronic, I can send them again tomorrow.
I think there's a version that can be posted on the website,
sure.
right?
And I'll also send our website address so that you can go right to our resiliency program. That way everybody can kind of feast on
A link.
just
Okay, great.
what's there.
Right.
So that was last year. This year, for the last year of our program, in addition to the 2 West Jamaica Road and Pike Falls projects, we're also proposing to do a project on South Hill, Maori. So essentially from the town line, Wardsboro coming this way, overhead over the pavement, and then basically Maori Road underground, and it's entirely similar to the other underground projects that we did on Turkey Mountain and West Jamaica. And then basically again coming this way to an open pointer line, which is right around North Lanphier Road, almost all the way back this way. So that's one project. So that's a combination of overhead and underground. And then the other project that we are proposing to do is a small section of depot, but all of Wardle.
Right.
Warden, sorry. Is it Warden? Warden.
And is that where it turns out they were is a need to maybe adjust the plan because it's not town property that the pole needs to, that's a different
I
one.
believe they've opened the conversation up here with the Robbins.
Oh, you are?
I reached out to them and they are talking to them. I'm not.
Okay.
So our permission really is for the town right away. Certainly,
Right.
we have other private easements that we would
Right.
require to make it all hang together, but certainly
Yeah,
that's.
the thought was that we would do an easement on the library property, but where the stakes are, there's just not the space, because it's the adjacent neighbor's property, so you guys have been working with them to try to figure out how they can get it done without cutting too many trees down.
Right,
That's outside of the town, it's not a town thing anymore. So-
right,
And there's a third project that I listed on there. It's really a V-Trans jurisdiction, but it's essentially from our substation down the road, going all the way back on Route 30 to the intersection of 100. So by the end of September, this will all be rebuilt, going out of town as well, all the way back and by and through the substation, plus these back roads over
Right.
to neighboring Wardsboro and Stratton as well.
So then my only question on those, and Greg might already be thinking about this, is that we did a lot of paving on South Hill. So I know in the past, you've agreed to, if you have to, if it's where it's gonna be underground, you're gonna repair and replace,
Correct.
correct?
So we'll plan to stay overhead on any of the paved surfaces.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Okay,
But the agreement that I forwarded is sort of where we graduated to at the end of last year, so it specifies everything that, towns have wanted for conditions to restore things as good or better.
right.
Found. So that'll specify the materials, the culverts, sort of writing everything out with Keith before we start and documenting what we have to go through. But pavement typically means overhead, and underground, we go for it in the dirt.
Okay. Paul?
Question about that. The Maori section from South Hill towards, you said East Lanphier or whatever it is down there, that's gonna be underground?
Correct.
Or is dirt?
Yep.
Parts of South
Yeah.
Hill are dirt too.
Right,
Yes.
So
Yes.
they're gonna
So
go
they're
dirt, or
gonna-
they're gonna go overhead to get some more for the space.
they'll go underground.
Any other questions? Okay.
Great. Yeah, I can say too, I mean, just from the roads perspective, and Keith's super happy too, as
Yeah.
far as how things went back into place
Excellent.
after it was all done. I mean, it was rough in between and work in progress, but it all turned out great. Yeah, better. A lot of it.
Great. And it'll be the same script, so once we actually initiate projects, we'll get the 2-week look aheads, and we'll continue to communicate with the town, and obviously work with you to, if there's any particularly challenging, like one way in, one way out, how we
Right,
have to
right.
kind of road closures and
Right.
those types of things.
No, I think that actually seemed to have gone very well. The only question that I've gotten was about, are the old, for the large new poles coming on Route 30, or do the old poles go? And I'm like, no. But that's really the only thing that I've been hearing about.
Ultimately, the goal will be to get to one pole line.
Right.
It's gonna take
But
some
we're not
years.
there,
We're
yeah,
not there
not
yet.
for a while,
Not for
right,
a bit.
okay, all right.
We've had some windy days and we haven't had any outages.
I know, right?
We did, I think I was,
Absolutely.
Well,
Fred went out for like 10 minutes.
That was
Oh, but that was
actually,
different,
that was a
right?
contractor accident. I actually did stop
Right.
and talk to Sarah.
It
and
wasn't
I
weather.
apologize. So that happened right up here, and one of our contractors got a little,
snipped a wire or something?
too close, hit a guy wire.
Okay, to the guy wire.
Slacked the lines and the phases
Okay.
touched.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was a very wide-reaching outage, went all the way to town.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with weather.
it had nothing to do with like, blue sky day. Accidents happen.
Did you have anything else for us, or?
That's it, just really what was in the agreement.
Yeah, just if it might be helpful to post the map so that, and the link, if you do that, that would be great.
I will send you a follow-up email tomorrow.
There is also a spot on Warden Road where a customer is requesting service, where we might have to trench across Warden Road. Could be, instead of like, we're running the line up and down Warden Road, this would be trenched even deeper and go across just with excavators. I can get you further information on that, but there's a customer out there, like as you're heading up the hill on the right-hand side, it's been off the grid for a long time and now they want power.
Okay.
So, we're looking to bring them power as well.
Okay.
All the patients open.
Right.
We'll
I mean, I think you would handle it the same way you do in terms of road closure and
Right. We'll
communication.
have to keep ahead of time
Right.
and let everybody know what's going on.
And
Right.
that'd probably be a more concrete, so to speak, closure. I mean, it's not like you can just wave
Yeah.
somebody around, so,
Right.
Right.
with enough notice so we can let
Right.
anybody know. I don't think there's
Well,
not too
just-
many
Not too many
residents,
houses.
not too many residents up past.
But isn't there one? I thought there was one. It just means just
There's a
letting them
handful of
know they can.
driveways. There's a couple, that house that sits up on the hill on the left-hand side that has partially paved driveway.
Right.
And then the pole that we're coming off of.
That's-
That driveway.
That driveway would be impacted,
Yes.
right? So it's just letting them know so that they can drive out and leave their car.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, okay.
There's
Karen?
another house further up that does Airbnb also.
Okay.
Oh,
On
really?
the left, yeah.
Past? Oh,
They show their names.
And another one where they come up quite often. up further.
Yeah, we'll communicate that. That'll probably be closer to the springtime.
oh, it'll be spring.
And, yeah. And the depth of that will be a little bit deeper than what we're already putting
Right.
previously, so probably at a 6-foot level or even lower.
Oh, okay, that's pretty deep,
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you for the heads up. All right, I mean, you're invited to stay if you'd like to stay for the rest of the meeting. but-
So I sent a copy of the agreement, so we typically, you've approved it,
Yes.
signed it, send it to me, I countersign, send it back, so.
Yeah, I'll sign it, yeah,
Excellent. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, the next order of business is to discuss again with Chris whether we do a full or partial withdrawal from DVFiber, and once again more in the looks of the promise. But yes, so Chris, can I ask you? Do you mind introducing kind of whether we do the question as to whether we do a full or partial, and what that you would be asking me to sign a letter that essentially enacts that outcome.
4 months ago, I think I told the board that we didn't get the grant that would have funded bringing fiber to Jamaica. Instead, Consolidated Communications got it. So I imagine they're going to get here sooner or later. I'm not going to continue serving as representative. And I've asked our alternative, John Van Heusen, if he wanted to, and he declined. And I don't know anybody who would like to do it. Present company accepted. But, I guess it's a practice that if you can't fill an appointed officer's position, it's assigned to a member of the board, but it's a
Oh, interesting.
nominal assignment only. I wouldn't, I mean.
They don't have like an extra vote or anything, right?
Well, you could, if you wanted to do it, but to do justice,
Yeah.
you have to go.
You have to go and
meetings,
attend the meetings, yeah.
And there's often considerable homework involved. So I wouldn't expect
Right.
really
Right.
to do it.
And what impact would DVFiber have for a town like Jamaica
Well,
that's gonna be served by Consolidated?
well, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think nominal representation serves the town districts or the DVFiber districts.
Okay.
So this letter recommends that, or I recommend we withdraw. This is a draft.
Right.
I'm still very committed. They're managed to stay in business in the Deer Valley. That's on a personal basis, and I also think it's very much in Jamaica's interest that they do. And the reason is Consolidated Communications is overbuilding the Deer Valley. Basically, they want to get rid of DVFiber, and I think the other cuts, either that or co-op. Their long-term plan, I think, is to compete with Xfinity. And we're just a nuisance to be gotten rid of. But they have pricing power. Their incentive rates are $25 or $35 cheaper than ours. However, their BBL rate, and I apologize, I don't know what BBL stands for, but what it means is their rate after the incentive period is over
Right.
is only $5 cheaper than us. So that might be significant to people, more significant than local control and better service, or it might not be. We'll see.
Right. But it
But
was
so
it was reach also though, right? I mean, are we sacrificing on reach by not having the cut and instead having to
What,
accept?
well, I think Xfinity prices run around $140.
Right.
So I think that's their ultimate target price. So ours are 75, 90, and 130 for 100, 300 and a gig.
Right.
So as long as we exist,
Right.
that kind of keeps them in.
There's competitive pressure, right. But
And
it was also reach in terms of rural, out onto rural roads and getting,
The last mile.
right, the last mile, exactly. Thank you, Tom.
well, DVFiber is committed to serving everyone. If CCI follows their past practices, they'll pick off the profitable locations. and
Right.
Everybody else.
So the fact that they won the grant it didn't come with it,
No.
the obligation to reach the last mile.
That's kind of a bitter point. Up in, when the BEAD grant was formulated under the IIJA Act, there are all sorts of conditions, but including you must serve everybody.
Right.
And at the BEAD funds were then withheld when the Trump administration came in.
That's right.
And then they were released, but they were released with the change in the selection criteria that was initial price only,
Okay,
no other conditions. So
okay,
we don't know.
okay. We don't know how, right,
The answer
right.
most truthfully. So I've recommended to the DVFiber's leadership that they create a non-voting affiliate status. So the towns like ours who can't get representatives because there's no prospect of service anytime soon, but still would like to keep their name on the books and like to be informed and like to be in a position to rejoin if and when they ever get here.
Right.
3 years.
They could request affiliate status.
And,
But the leadership has said that's a great idea. I don't know what the board's gonna say.
okay. Do you think, so I'm in favor of signing the letter. I mean, it is what it is. But will they kind of keep you in the loop and let us know if we can opt for affiliated status? Like,
I'll make it my business to see if they do.
I appreciate that.
And I also like to say, I'm leaving for personal reasons, got nothing to do with anything other than.
Right.
I'm facing geezer.
You know what? First of all, I'm more of a geezer than you are. No one has a brain more active than yours. So I mean, it's just hard to try to dig deep and find someone who's gonna give their volunteer time to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Under the current circumstances. And if I did have if we had a plethora of people who were raising their hand to volunteer to various, this isn't where I would. It would be the fire department or something, you know what I mean? It would be something else, unfortunately. But I love the idea of affiliate status because, for all the reasons we've said over the years, the CUDs were a fantastic idea that, and absent the loss of funding, it would be having a real impact on people's lives. And who knows, maybe in a few years, what'd you say, 3 years? Maybe in 3 years, the funding will return and that last mile can be served, so.
Well, let's hope. I mean, things change. They've changed a lot in the time I've been associated with it. They'll probably change some more.
Well, a huge amount of work was accomplished while you were on the board. I mean, a huge amount, so, it doesn't go away, it's just
Well,
dormant,
no.
right? I mean,
That's the key issue, really.
right,
If we survive competition with CCI,
right. That's,
then I think prospects are pretty good. They'll expand.
Do you want a motion on this? Do you want to vote, or you just gonna sign?
okay, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that the town of Jamaica, withdraws from, from the Deer Valley Communications Union, with heavy heart. But that we will accept affiliate status if it is offered to us, by DVFiber.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. So Chris, anything else you want to share about it? I hate to say it, like last thoughts. I mean, honestly, I feel like, this is sad. It is really sad because it was kind of the best of, community governance and towns coming together and volunteerism and grants, federal grants going to good use. It was kind of like all of those wonderful things for something that's such critical infrastructure. So it's just sad.
Well, I've really enjoyed working on it. And I would just like, I guess, say when the idea was first proposed, the response of the major communication companies was, a bunch of amateurs will never get that off the ground. So it's very satisfying.
I know. Here, here. Here, here.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Thank you. All right, as with everyone else, you're invited to stay if you'd like, but you are not obligated to. I think you can take back a few minutes of your evening. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay. Tax map update. Karen, can you guide us through the proposal for the tax map contract update?
Oh,
Yes.
I see
Sorry.
it went up from 1,500 by Chris.
Is it-
1,500 to 1,750.
Right.
But it'll start, what is it, March?
You sent out
I think
the
it's
contract,
March
right.
for 1 year.
It's 1 year though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just a continuation of the work they've been doing, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
We,
that's great.
we find our changes, we send it to them, they send it to Parcel Viewer.
Yes.
I'd like to know, please, if there's an update on the value of the school, the tax value of the school.
We do not have a value on the school.
So that's not related to, that's not what we're talking, the tax map
I
is that,
understand
oh,
the
okay.
tax lady is
Why
here.
don't we talk about that during public comment?
Okay.
Great, thank you. Anything else on the contract?
No,
Okay.
it seems to be working fine.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the contract.
Second.
Okay. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Karen. All right, update on purchase of tokens. We can start starting a discussion about token pricing. Probably I was a little maybe overly optimistic that we could make a decision today on pricing, but I think it's probably a little premature. But I know you got some pricing.
Yes, so if we were to order all right, so just to be clear, we're ordering 3 colors of tokens, and they're all from recycled materials made of them. And they will
Nothing changed from last
represent-
meeting on that.
Right, they will represent small, medium, and large package, well, however you want to dispose of your trash. So what you could think of it in terms of small bags, medium bags, or large bags, but we aren't selling bags after this. So the tokens will replace bags that we would be selling, and each token costs an average of about 5 cents a piece, as opposed to about 85 cents per bag that we had to pay. And of course, they're reusable. So we were thinking about buying, I don't know, we need to talk about how many, 3,000 small,
3,000.
5,000 medium, and 6,000 large. They would all be 1.5 inch diameter tokens,
What was
so
the
they're
numbers
the
again?
same
I'm sorry.
size.
Okay,
3,000 small,
8,000?
representing small,
How many small?
3,000.
3,000 small?
5,000 medium and 8,000 large, and we can always reorder them. It only takes a week to place the order and get them from the company. And so we're hopeful that this will be a good solution to the bag problem.
And the total cost, I know you told
The
us.
total cost was, where'd it go? Oh, $2,008
Okay.
if we get that many. So.
So I'm gonna make a motion to approve that we buy the recommended volume for 2008 roughly, if it's a little more or less. You know, it's certainly within our spending authority. Any questions on that part?
A second.
Okay, second.
Discussion.
Yes?
The tokens cost 5 cents a piece for the town to make them? Is that what you said?
We have to purchase them
Buy
at the
them.
cost of their making them and embossing them with the town of Jamaica and small, medium, or large on
And
them.
what's the size difference?
They represent different sizes of bags that we have been using. So the small green bags that we have now would be represented by green
A green
token.
token.
So
And how much will they cost for the people?
we have to decide that. We
Right.
haven't decided yet.
We're gonna discuss that next. First, we're discussing just buying the actual physical tokens.
Yeah.
Our buying, yeah, the whole.
Any other questions on the physical tokens?
Okay.
Are they gonna be sold by a sleeve, with so many in the sleeve?
No, you can buy one at a time. We'll probably bind some up like 10.
Yeah.
We'll probably do something like that. That's more of an operations thing that I'll work out with them.
And they'll be, be sold just as now here and at West River Provisions and Rossville.
Same place you
Once
get
you
your
guys
bags
set the
now, so
price,
I
and
don't
then
know
we'll
what.
know what they're gonna cost individually, and then we can go from there.
It's no different than your people coming today and buy
Right.
boxes of bags, and then people come in and buy single bags today. So it'd be the same thing. So
It's not like
if you need
the
10 bags,
whole-
if you need 10 tokens, I'll count 10 tokens.
Yeah, I don't know how they package them when they send them, but probably there will be.
Most
that.
towns sell them loose. Yeah, I was
I
kind
would
of
think we're
surprised
selling
about
those.
that.
I would think it would probably be
Yeah.
loose. I doubt I would. I mean, I might have them in the drawer in piles of 10, so I can pull 10 out and hand it to you, but it's gonna.
Right.
Maybe
There's a way to
initially,
package.
I know,
That's
wouldn't
it.
it be
It's
kind of
come forward and
right.
you know,
pack
be
this
The
down.
whole point is trying not to have
Not
more
possible.
packaging.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe we could like make little town of Jamaica sacks and you would buy your little sack.
Yeah.
We could make a little money off the sack to defray the cost of pay as you throw. All right, so any further discussion on, oh yes, please.
You talked about they're made out of recycled plastic. Is there some kind of security features on them to prevent somebody with access to 3D printing from counterfeiting them?
well, they will be embossed and they'll say the town of Jamaica on them, but other than that.
They have kind of a distinctive color because they're all made through post-consumer waste, but I don't know that we're really
Not
thinking
really.
that people are gonna, it's just
Yeah.
not enough money to like
It's not
buy a 3D printer and, yeah. But I hear you.
Some will be made from chewing gum and some from fishing line, and the others just random recycled
It's post-consumer, yeah, material,
and are reusable, which is great.
yeah.
So they're not particularly biodegradable.
No.
We're afraid to go that way.
No, the point is that you reuse them
We're gonna-
and they're washable,
They're
right.
I do understand
Yeah.
that part, but there's lots of levels of plastic these
Right.
days. And for 3D printing especially, because they're rather inexpensive now, but there's corn-based plastic, there's petroleum-based plastic, there's lots of varieties of plastic. That's why I wonder whether any kind of built-in security feature, or some of the things, I mean,
Right.
to help prevent somebody that already has access to, I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna go out and buy a 3D printer to avoid their trash costs. But there might be somebody there might be
Yeah, right.
30 years, you know.
there might be an entrepreneur.
Don't put that in the minutes.
Delete that part of it.
Exactly. All right, I will call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great, terrific. So the next is to begin a discussion on pricing, and I know that, and I don't want to steal your thunder, so do you want, so the initial thinking is?
The initial thinking was that we would charge very close to what we're charging now, but because they're representing different sizes right now we have 2 and we will have 3. We were thinking maybe $3 for the green, maybe $5 for the yellow, and I don't know, maybe 2 for the small ones. But one thing that we did want to make clear is that people will not be allowed to stuff a bunch of bags into a big, you won't be able to use a contractor's bag. The plastic that they're made of are not something we want in our landfill, and in fact, Ernie said they're not good for the compactor.
Right.
So they will not be allowed in the compactor. But you know, if people want to buy plastic bags, they're welcome to use them, but they can't stuff a bunch of small bags into a larger bag. So that was the first thought of the prices.
Right. So to match the
How's that
existing
gonna make the
pricing.
least?
What?
I mean, if I have a big contract, if I have a big bag, I stuff it.
Yeah.
Like people do now with these bags.
Right.
So you can't throw it then, or they're taking a look in every bag? I mean, I'm just gonna.
No, well, he does keep an eye,
Okay.
but specifically the contractor bags will not
That's
be.
right. I
they-
think that's
they go
the
into
focus of the
CE, right,
of
yeah.
the issue around
Yeah.
multiple bags inside another bag. It's the contractor bag.
But yeah, if you buy a big plastic black bag that usually people use for their garbage pails, not the kitchen size one, that will be equivalent, that would be the yellow, that would be the large. Which would be maybe $5 would be better.
Yeah, it's like a
What was the third price I missed? That was 358.
$3.58.
So if I take my 33-gallon barrel that I always throw my kitchen bag into, if I fill that up, that could be considered large? Or do I get charged for every individual bag that's in there?
no.
No.
That's,
It's like
No,
it's smart,
it's
stuff
supposed to
like that.
represent 8, 15, and 30-gallon bags, or 33, whatever,
Okay.
you know, they're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
completely standardized.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can get a lot into those.
If you really work it.
So you just mentioned 8, 15, and 33.
Size, that,
So
that's what
eight-
they're.
eight-
Gallons,
Gallons.
Right, 8 gallon would be a new small size.
Exactly.
Okay,
Pink.
and so you're looking at going with the same, trying to keep the same price on the medium and large as we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, well, we were thinking maybe getting rid of that 50 cents, because it's $2.50 and $3.50 now,
Okay,
and we were thinking maybe 3 and 5,
I would say 3 to 4,
or maybe
be
3.
more palatable if people are throwing away a lot of
Oh, the
trash.
30
just we
don't want
gallons
people throwing away
twice
our
as
trash.
big.
We don't, right.
Reduce your trash.
Right,
We
exactly.
lose on this
And we
anyway,
lose so much
so-
money on the cost of the transfer station. It's just, it's a real gouge in our budget. We're trying to stop the bleeding.
And I can say that, I mean, I help my dad out a lot. He's up in Chittenden County, uses Casella, and their minimum is $8. So we are substantially lower, and I would suggest that we entertain evaluating where we fit in this shit, because it's not just trying to cover our costs, but it's also, I mean, I think we have to be conscious of what's out there in our costs, obviously, but if we're the cheapest guy in town type of thing, that's not doing any of us.
It also, it attracts people, speaking of counterfeit,
Right.
kind of, you know, it attracts people who really do use our transfer station when they're not entitled, and that is a burden on us as well.
And also, Wyndham Solid Waste charges $10 for their contractor bag, so that's what we will do. So if somebody needs to throw something into the C&D, container with one of those big bags, they will be charged $10.
Okay. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry.
It left us-
That's right. We're, at this point, it's still a discussion
Yes.
in terms of the rollout and implementation, so please, send emails, come to meetings if you.
Isn't the card still a requirement, if you're not well?
Yes,
So
yes.
the card should be the thing that's helping keep it to just the rules.
Yeah.
And that's what should be controlling whether you can,
Give a check.
whether you can use a $3, $5, or $8 bag or whatever.
Sorry? I didn't follow.
Because they're saying that
Card.
Ernie needs to check your card, and if you don't have a card,
Right.
you shouldn't be able to throw out. But people do show up without their card.
And I can
Yeah,
speak to
that's-
that Ernie's really cracked down for everyone who's gone up there. He's cracked down. People who don't have stickers on their cards, don't have a valid sticker,
Right.
he sends them here to get stickers. And I've seen a lot of people in the last months.
Yeah,
Come in.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he is really looking at that and he is really trying to police that.
But that should be helping contain the
Yeah.
cost.
Yes.
So with, a diligent transfer agent, the cards and the bags or tokens, whichever,
Even if we had 100% compliance, we're not charging enough to cover our cost.
Yeah.
That's the issue. We're just not.
It's
It's getting more and more
really
expensive.
expensive too.
how much are we not covering the cost by?
Oh my God,
50%.
the budget level, what was our shortfall last year?
Easy 50%.
Yeah.
So we're only covering 50% of what it costs us to get rid of it.
Solid waste is so expensive.
I understand that.
Yeah. That's why a lot of other towns close their transfer station.
Yeah. None of them.
And then you have to go to,
Brattleboro.
Brattleboro.
Or hire a contractor.
Or pay Casella. That's assuming they'll come up to your property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have your hand was raised or?
Yes, I'd like to know something about this accounting piece of this. You just said, I think I heard you say, right now, the town is losing a lot of money
Yeah.
over
You see it in the budget.
And so will the budget also show, after this is decided, what the town is now making on cannabis?
We'll know next year. We'll see, what the revenue is, the revenue realized. I mean, we're not a commercial enterprise, right? We can have a rough estimate of how much the improvement will be, but we won't really know that until the results are
Okay,
in
so
the next year.
once you get past the rough estimate days and you get to the real factual days.
You'll see it in the budget that gets published in the next
What happens to the
report.
extra money that you make?
It's not extra, that's the thing. We
Goes
don't
into the town fund.
we don't make what we spend. We would
Right.
have to charge so much to make back in revenue
Right.
what we have to spend to, what is it, $250 for Casella to come each
Every
time that
just
they
to
do the
drive up there,
recycling
$200.
container?
Yeah.
It's really, really expensive.
Yeah. But so the way to see the results in terms of, so what we budgeted
Yep.
for the cost
Yep.
and revenue
Right.
against actual is what gets published in our report, our budget report every year.
Town.
So what you would see, the town report is being published now. What you would do is just keep this year's town report and compare it, well, actually you don't have to because we published the year before. You could just watch year on year in the budget. That's when those results, so to speak, get published.
Well, then I would like to support my husband's suggestion that the card is the way that the operator can determine who can recycle or throw away trash or not. Are you putting that in the regulation?
That is how it is
That's
today.
how it works.
That's how it works today, but it's, reality is,
Sometimes
on the
people cheat
ground.
somehow.
people either come and they toss and run out, or
Yeah, 4
Hey.
bags were in the compactor over the weekend when there was, or whenever, when he wasn't here.
right,
He came
someone
to work
snuck
the
in.
next morning and somebody put 4 yellow bags on the compactor. But also, there are
At least they
people
were yellow
in
bags.
the Airbnb places that rent out. Sometimes there's an issue there where people are staying at somebody else's house and they dump their trash here and, it's.
So this token thing is not gonna change that or fix that problem?
No, what the token does is because it costs the town so much less than a
have to
bag,
print the
right?
bags.
We have to pay for the bags, and then you buy them from us. The token will pay for once,
Right.
and then it's in circulation. So that's just taking a huge expense out of our budget. It's still not enough to make up the shortfall, but we anticipate that it's going to be a significant improvement.
As well as
We
using
hope.
less plastic.
And it will encourage what you're talking about, renters to be able to come and use the facility, right?
That should be no different than whether they bought a bag or a token.
Yeah.
So it's not going to impact behavior. What it's going to impact is the cost to the town. Our expense line will go down.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just, kind of come back. We invite everybody to please share thoughts about
Yes.
pricing, but hopefully by the next meeting, we'll have a formal proposal. Okay, thank you. The next item is a discussion of the short-term rental ordinance, but no, okay, I'm gonna
There's
table
nothing
that.
there.
Okay.
I've gotten a few calls, in fact, Drew Hazelman called me today, said, what's going on there? I'm writing, I'm currently working on the policy. It probably is not gonna happen until after town meeting. I would say probably end of March, early April, I'll have a draft ordinance for you guys.
Perfect.
I can put it on.
No, I hear you, it's a big job. So the next order of business is a continued discussion of the situation with the Jamaica Village School. So just to reiterate, even though we talk about this every meeting, the West River Education District, the chair and the second representative from the town of Jamaica held a meeting 2 weeks ago to give us an update on where they stand on the budget. In that meeting, they summarized that the current budget that they would like to propose shows Jamaica Village School as closed. It was a long conversation. It's a lot to summarize. You can read the minutes from our last meeting. But one of the main concerns that I think certainly I know that I had and other members of the board had and the public was that a vote to close Jamaica Village School, we understood would have meant certainly 3-year-old pre-K would not be available at all throughout the district, and possibly an impact on the remainder of the pre-K program. At least with respect to the meeting that was held by Drew and Dana, they said they had allocated 24 spots for pre-K as a whole. That in their estimation, based on their research, would cover the anticipated population, so that even if the town were to vote to close Jamaica Village School and buy it back for $1, it was in their estimation, it would not impact pre-K. They also said, Drew said that the West River Board is uncomfortable asking the town of Jamaica to hold a vote unless the select board, after consultation with members of the public, indicates an interest in the West River Education District asking us to call a vote. So that's where it stood. We've all kind of done our own kind of talking around, asking folks, etc., taking small straw polls. It does, I think we all feel, it puts us in a bit of an awkward position as a select board. But that's where it stood as of 2 weeks ago. So I would like to just open up a discussion. We have two folks here who were not here at the last meeting. So I'm personally just very interested in hearing what your thoughts are.
I'd still like to have my question answered. What is the tax value of the school?
Oh, you mean what is the listers?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, what's the grant? Do we know the grant list value?
There is not
I mean, I
an
can look it
assessed
up.
value on it.
Oh, there isn't because,
Why?
well, it's not owned by the town, it's owned by the school district, and they don't pay taxes, correct?
Right, but every other building is, so we just need to do it at some point. There was no hurry.
Okay.
So at some point, we will come up with an assessed value.
And I think coming up with that assessed value is an important piece of asking the community what the select board should do about closing or not closing the school. So I think getting to that value is more important right now for the citizenry, for me, for example, to know than deciding on the vote to close or not close without knowing.
So it's a good point. I think it's a question of staging at this point. So if the initial question is, do we even want to put this to the town for a vote, right? Is anybody even open to the idea of risking potentially impacting pre-K being available in the district, potentially? Number one, is the township interested in voting whether to keep it open or closed? Is the township open to buying it back? So that's the initial question, because it's not up to the board to decide whether to close the school. It's just up to the board to say to listen to the school board, which wants to take the burden of carrying the school off of the budget for the next year. That's all we know, right? Because education and the districts are completely up in the air. Right? You've probably seen the proposals.
What dollar value did they place on closing that school to their budget?
So that's a very good question. So it's not so clearly defined.
Yeah.
But I would say, it's not like you could say, it's not an easy, in their defense, in everyone's defense, this is not an easy calculation to make. The bottom line is, while it does help their budget, in terms of translating into dollars and cents for your taxes, it was certainly not going to have a material impact on your education taxes.
I just mean overall, if it's only going to reduce their $20 million budget by $100,000.
Oh, so that's knowable. In fact, all the budgets are on their website. Go to the don't look to me for that. You can get that information directly. It will show not just the current budget they'd like to vote on. It shows you all their prior drafts. And it does give a rough estimate of its impact on your tax rate, but it's not known now. But that question can be answered in very concrete terms if you just look at the budget. Yeah.
When one buys a house in any community, Jamaica or any other town, Brattleboro, there are things called comps that you look at. Is my house comparable with the next one down the street, the next one down the street? I would imagine the schools should be having comps also. A town school in town A should be compared to town B's town school. And so to not have a value on this piece of property is short-sighted, asking the community, maybe in March at the town meeting, if we should close or not. I think the value of the school needs to be determined. The listers, assessor's value, whatever they call it here, needs to be clearly documented. How do we do that?
I can speak to the vote. There will be no vote at town meeting. We don't have time to warn that. So we have to warn it, I believe, 45 days ahead.
It will be a separate meeting. It wouldn't be a separate vote
here. It's not
here.
an article either.
Plus, it's not a floor vote.
On the school at the town meeting.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Right.
It doesn't answer the question.
I'm not answering the question, but Karen, did you want to say
So in
something?
2018, apparently, the school was not assessed. Every other property was, but the school was not. I don't know why. And we just haven't acted on it there.
I think the cost of,
in figuring it out?
but I was gonna say, I think, I'm sorry, but I think the cost, where you're trying to get at, the cost to the budget isn't literally the dollars that get put on a building. It's the amount of what it takes to actually operate that building, but teachers in there is key and everything else. And so the building, we could say it's $1 billion. It's not gonna make any difference to.
But if the town take it back from the district for $1 and has a choice to sell it or use it or whatever the choices are, then the cost of the building becomes important.
At that
You mean
point,
the value,
sure, the value,
yeah.
So
right.
why aren't we thinking ahead and figuring that out now?
I think we all know it's more than $1. That's probably where we're selling.
Right. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think the important part of that might be that would be a key discussion point for whether it should.
Absolutely.
At
So in
that
terms,
point, right.
right, getting back to staging,
Should the town
Right.
be bringing this up to a vote?
if we
When
bring it up to a
vote on that?
vote, we will hold an information session and we'll throw out, ideas as to what we should look at as a town for the use of the property, what steps we would have to do, perform a highest and best use, various steps, what the carrying cost of the building would be. We would go through all of them.
A thought has just occurred to me, and I wish Chris were still here. That building already has multi-strand fiber going to it, high-speed fiber internet connection. And maybe that's something that DVFiber isn't aware of, and maybe if the building were closed as a school, it could be reopened as a DVFiber connection. It's already got high-speed fiber coming to it,
Yeah.
and then it would be easy for them to distribute to the rest of the town. So it's a bigger question, and I don't expect you to know any.
But DVFiber won't have any money to operate in Jamaica. So DVFiber is not gonna operate in Jamaica, right? That's my understanding. Consolidated won the grant for Jamaica. So the only entity that would be putting broadband in here is the entity with the grant. DVFiber is basically locked out of Jamaica.
So if DVFiber as an entity, a business entity, I assume it's a going business entity, if they're gonna be locked out, as you say, who else is gonna wanna buy it? You don't have a value on it.
No, that's an important question that's a decision-making question as to whether you should ask the town. I think that's as much as we can ask the board right now, to make sure that's included as part of the determination of the ask. Now, would Consolidated be able to use that building then to distribute fiber? Because the fiber's already there. The high-speed fiber already comes through this town and has a stop and a drop point right there. And the other thing to look at is there any possibility that the provider that provides the fiber to that school building would also provide it to the town hall and or provide it to some other entity in the town? And would that make that a viable something for the town to consider, so that it makes it easy, so that there's a good reason for the town to say, yes, we'll forget the education part of it and we'll do this instead. Now we have a good use for the building, and now it makes sense to ask the people, what do you think? So it's just food for thought. It's not a final.
I'll do some more research on that fiber, what's there. I maybe internet too, which is basically connect schools. So it needs schools, and it's for education and government. It's not for public consumption, but I don't know that. But I'll do some more research on that for you.
I'll be glad to help you with that.
Was there any discussion of that when you were most recently at the building? No, not really. Okay.
So will you be bringing this up on your agenda again before too long? I mean,
It's been on the agenda at every meeting, so it's become,
Yeah. Some different level of discussion.
So I do ask the rest of the public and board members, like, have you had conversations? What are you hearing from folks?
So I had a conversation with Winston Proud, since they're the ones who kind of oversee all the available pre-K and earlier spots within our area. And to say they were less than encouraging would be an understatement. They knew of nothing basically this side of Brookline that had an opening for pre-K. They were also, very optimistic. There's a lot of money out there to help people to start, but that there's not much interest in getting it going. So when I asked exactly.
You mean in terms of programs, pre-K programs?
Pre-K programs.
Okay.
So they couldn't identify for me, because I asked directly, what could we expect for help for some of our families? Where could they go?
Right.
And they didn't have any ideas.
What do they think about the number? Do they kind of opine on the number that the district is using for pre-K?
So I won't give you their exact response.
I mean, I don't want to. Right.
I don't want to put them on the spot.
Okay.
But I can say the general feedback I got from the number of phone calls I made this past week asking about this is that number that the district puts out could be really low, or it could be really high. We're not going to know until
It's kind of like snowfall predictions.
Exactly. We're looking at the Farmer's Almanac right now to make a prediction for us, and their hope was that we have as many opportunities for kids as possible, because they're going to need it.
Right.
That was kind of their feedback.
Or they could need it, right?
Or could need it, right. Or maybe they might not.
Right.
But at this point, we don't know, and that number that they're using is just a placeholder.
Okay.
And who are they, please, that you're talking about?
This school district, when they gave out a projected number a couple weeks ago, they said that the 24 for the whole district could probably cover the estimated number of kids coming in pre-K next year.
Again, all of that information is on the West River and the West River Modified Education District. It's actually, they've been really good about posting all that information. What about you, Kate? Anything?
No, I'm not in town.
I love that. Greg, anything?
I don't have anything.
Nothing new than what we've discussed. Cameron?
There's just a lot up in the air. I know they're discussing tonight one proposal is maybe combining Dover and Wardsboro, and it looks like there's a new proposed district where we're in this Chester Bells Falls district, not even a Brattleboro district.
Right, no, yeah, it's west. We'll be on the edge of the district, right?
They're
Most of the
saying
maps have us
that
on the edge of the district.
Expect elementary school children to be on the bus up to 60 minutes, up to 75
minutes, yeah.
75 for high school. I don't know.
That's what they said.
What, each way.
But again, those proposals are very, very
This is
preliminary.
just the newest, yes.
That's just the newest one that came out. They're changing every 2 seconds up to Monday. They don't know.
Yeah, but they do
Stop
all
and see
seem to
mistakes.
consistently have us, on the edge of the district, which
Right. A proposal that Drew Hazelton was talking about today, and maybe Dana is going to suggest looking into, is combining Dover, Wardsboro, and the West River Valley, and creating a K-8 school in Townsend, where Leland and Gray is, and having school choice for our teenagers. It's just a suggestion.
Right.
And will the state allow us to have school choice? I have no
No
idea.
idea. Paul?
I would have just one thought, if I may share. For those of you all who did not make it to the meeting, the good news is we have people who really seem to understand it to some level. The bad news is he's leaving. We need some volunteers.
He's there for another year.
Got another year for Drew Hazelton.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need somebody to overlap, because things are changing underfoot as we speak. And his loss is gonna be felt. So we need somebody who's got some interest in this, who may be new to the community, but who can spend the energy and the time into, following him around, but also figuring out what's actually going on in Montpelier. So 2 things, we're gonna miss him. Thing number 1 is we gotta miss him. We need to fill in that slot.
Alright. So first I'm gonna make a resolution and then we can discuss the resolution. So I'm gonna make a resolution that we vote, I'm gonna do it in the affirmative, that we vote that we indicate an interest in calling a vote. By positive, I don't mean necessarily good or bad. I mean, in that we would be asking the school board to instruct us to call a vote.
What specifically are you asking for?
So that we indicate, that the board indicate an interest in the West River Unified Modified Education District Board does resolve to ask us to vote, to call a town vote. Sorry, I can email it to you after. But to call a
You still
town.
need to understand it.
Right, I know, I'm trying to write it in my head, right, it's not working.
That this board,
That this board, that's what we've been asked.
make a motion to
That we indicate that we would like them to ask us to call a town vote.
Select board asks the W-Red board
Right.
to call a vote.
Yeah, actually, it's like a round trip.
Right.
They then resolve to ask, to indicate that the town of Jamaica should vote to close the school. Vote whether or not to close the school. Sorry, I wasn't right. I'm getting caught up in my underwear here. I'm sorry.
And that's exactly how they asked us. I mean, they're not gonna call it.
So you're gonna say to them, if you wanna ask us,
They still don't have to.
We could vote.
if you're
The board could vote to
then you
say-
go to them and say, hey, if you wanna ask us.
I will email
withdraw.
Drew and say, we held a vote and we want you to ask, because the only way this town can call a vote to close the school is if we are formally asked to do so by the education district.
Okay. That's your motion.
And they don't wanna ask us.
Okay, motion is on the table.
No
Thank you.
second.
Oh, second, thank you. Yes,
As the executive board for the town of Jamaica, as a citizen of the town of Jamaica, I'm asking the executive board to make official announcement at town meeting of the date when the next, whatever you want to call it, is going to happen about the Jamaica school.
Information.
no, there'll be a formal warning of a vote. It won't be, do you know what I'm saying? Have you attended a town vote yet?
Yes.
Or,
Yes.
okay,
I have 20 years of town meeting membership in another state.
okay.
Okay, so the way it will work is that, yeah, so if they come back, and I believe that they will, and say, yes, we'd like you to call a vote,
Yeah.
at that point, then the board will work to set up informational meetings, provide information to the public. Those meetings, those informational meetings will be warned prior to a vote that will be warned probably sometime in April or May or June.
And it will be warned
By
on
the
the
time it's
agenda
done.
Stretch, it's not
before
gonna be
we
like
make the
April.
vote.
Okay,
Yeah.
April 1st, we're doing a vote. We're not rushing through this. There's gonna be plenty of information out there for the public and plenty of time for people to educate themselves before the vote.
Well, actually, maybe it is April
It's more like
or
April.
May.
It's more like May.
April or May, I
Yeah.
think.
I think
Yeah.
late April, early May.
Yeah.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Because we have to warn it 45 days on the vote, so that's already, even from today, we're looking at April 1. So.
Okay.
And the school district has asked, I mean, it is kind of, it's a The
Right.
school district doesn't want to ask us unless we say to them, we're ready. And so then they have to ask us,
Right.
and then we have to vote to say, put it on, like you said, I mean, we still have to warn the vote. So
Yeah, right.
this is,
Right.
we ask them, they come back to us, then we vote again, and then it goes out to the citizens. So it's a couple months.
So this won't affect this year's budget, or the year.
No.
No,
No.
So the
No.
next school year budget isn't
No.
impacted by the
No,
decision whether
but-
to close it or not, because we're not
No,
gonna be able to
yeah.
vote in time for that
Yeah.
next year's
Yeah.
school budget.
No,
So
But they-
this is for the
But they
following.
can,
the board is asking, they want to take they want to take Jamaica Village School out of the budget.
Right.
Right, they're just not gonna, they don't wanna strong arm us, I guess. They want this board to give them an indication of interest, I guess I would kind of
So
call it.
based on the lateness of their request for you to request of them to request of you, it's
You got it.
not gonna affect the budget that's in front of you now, because the vote won't come in time.
Well,
Because they have.
yeah.
You're
No,
not
yes,
qualified to take Bruce.
Right. Right.
but
But
it's not gonna.
the budget that they're voting on now already
Already
takes,
takes it out.
it already takes it out.
So they're either gonna be
Right.
way over budget, but
Right.
if it stays
Right.
in there,
Right,
or it's gonna all fall into place perfectly.
right.
And we have to contribute Jamaica's share to their budget this year, right, coming up?
I don't follow your question, and I'm not, this isn't really a question and answer session, but
That we pay into.
That's
Right.
fair.
Oh, that's definitely happening, we gotta pay.
So we have to pay our share of their budget right now and for next year, even though we haven't come to a warning or a decision or anything else.
yeah, I mean, you're gonna get your tax bill, and it's gonna have what the state says it's gonna have on it, regardless of what we do
For
here.
Jamaica's share of the bigger budget, right?
Which will be increased.
On that point, we won't know actually the numbers until the state tells us, which is after the town meeting.
Yeah,
Because then for any of that.
yeah,
So it's all juggling softballs.
It happens that way all.
right, but it does, it helps, right, it helps their budget if they don't have to carry Jamaica Village School. It just does, it helps the budget, and it does impact us. But it's just, it's a small impact. I urge you to look at the numbers on their website, because that's really the source of truth. So.
Motion on the table.
Yes, I'm gonna call the vote. All those in favor of asking the board, indicating to the board that they can, I don't even know how to say it. All those in favor of the motion on the table, please say aye.
No.
Okay. So, I will indicate to Drew that they can ask us to call a vote. Okay. All right,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yep.
All right, so thank you everyone for that discussion. Really it's helpful. All right, Tom.
This will be quick. I did reach out to a vendor I used to work with called Amada, and I'm waiting on quotes to get the server rebuilt. So
Okay, so you're waiting for
when
quotes.
I get those. I'm
Right.
kind of surprised that I met with them last Tuesday or Monday.
Right.
Surprised they haven't got back to me yet. Tuesday
Right.
I met with them. So as soon as I'll let you know.
Is there anything interesting about it? Do they
Well, we
have?
need to do it. The software is going to end of life in October of this year.
Okay.
The C drive's not space. There's a lot of problems
Right,
with the
right,
servers. So
right.
I'm looking at some designs. I'm working with them because
Thank you.
So I'm working with them to figure out what the best
Right.
design would be, and then we'll go from there.
And it will include their labor. They'll do the actual.
They'll build it. I'm not building it.
Right,
I'm just
right.
helping them.
No, but so it's
There's going to be a new server, new hardware. We'll partition out what we need. It'll still do the file shares. It'll still do
Right.
the networking stuff. It'll still do. Patriot will be on there. I think the listeners may be on there too. There's a bunch of different things that the server does. I've sent them all the information.
Right.
I'm just waiting on the quote back. And they're going to quote on-prem if they come out to do it, or if they can do it remote. So I said, give me some options.
Oh,
here.
they might be able to do it remotely.
Yeah, they'll build it,
Okay.
send it to us, and then they'll remote in and do some things. Obviously, we need to engage with Patriot, we'll
Right.
probably engage with
Right.
NEMRIC. There's a
Right.
lot, there's some work around it, and I'll coordinate all that, like with the phone system.
Okay. Yeah, which is great. Thank you.
Yep. So
All right,
I
thank
don't
you.
have a time frame. By the next meeting, I should have a quote built.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So next is an approval of the no appeal or suit certificate. Do you fill out that form? What is it called again? You do. Do we have it to sign? Oh, there it is. Yes. Yes. Okay.
It's in there, it's in the
So
basket.
it's just saying that
Yeah.
last year when we sent out letters saying that there's a change in your appraisal, people come in for tax appeals in May or June. If we don't solve it, it goes to the BCA, and everything was settled. So there's no,
There are in fact no suits or appeals pending. Okay. Terrific. Any questions on that? I will make a motion to approve the Form PVR 4155 Certificate of No Appeal or Suit Pending.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. The next is the Town Highway Mileage Certificate. Do we need to sign two of these?
No, there's appointment of
It
public
looks like
administrator.
Oh, Huffman is dry, I can talk about that too.
Did I skip something?
Yes, you did. So.
Oh, update regarding appointment of
So
health
I applied,
administrator.
so when we had a complaint about us leaking septic, Greg and I went up and checked it out, it ended up not being leaking septic. But I realized that although you recommended me to be health administrator, that's a state thing. So I went out to the state website and reached out to them.
Okay.
And then contacted Muriel, who's, I don't know what her role is, I forget, I'm sorry. And I filled all the forms and such. She called me and said, wait, we need the person, Jocelyn Mullins, to have resigned. And so I was on hold. She eventually sent an email and called Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
She has all that
She's
information.
out in Washington,
Yeah, but
right?
she had all the information because that's all still in the system. Cell phone,
Okay.
email. And Jocelyn responded this morning and said,
Oh,
I
very
resigned.
nice.
So that's
Okay.
all resolved. So
Okay.
it hasn't happened yet. I reached out to them earlier today and said, do I need to do anything from my end?
Okay.
And if so, what do I need to do? So hopefully by this week or next, that'll all go in and then I'll be the health administrator. So.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. How is Jocelyn? Just kidding. All right. So do you want to
Just real
Yeah.
quick in the future,
Yeah.
and we need to make sure that
that's
when I leave, that I send a
That you-
resignation letter and it's officially resigned, because she's like, I can't move forward unless I have an official resignation.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like it-
And it's a
is it
3-year term, so.
statutory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great that we hadn't
Had to work.
for a year or whatever.
Or
2
more.
years, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then the next order of business, let's make sure I didn't skip anything else, is 12, the approval of the town highway mileage certificate.
So this is something that we do each year, along with a number of other steps. So this is, I'm not gonna do all those now, but each year as part of the budgeting process for us and our highway funding that we get from the state, we sign off on the amount of road mileage that we have for class 1, 2, 3. And this year, nothing's changed, so that makes it easy. We changed a few things a few years ago, but basically we just need to sign this and say that none of our miles have changed.
Okay,
And we get, funding based on those number of miles.
excellent. So I'll make a motion that we approve the town highway mileage certificate as presented by Greg.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, don't leave without signing it.
Great. This one.
And we have an overweight permit.
Right. First one of the year so far. This is from Dead River Company. Everything is here, I believe. They've got their certificate of insurance.
And the check.
Their check, yeah. So I will make a motion that we approve the overweight permit for the fleet of vehicles from Dead River Company.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the next is the approval of the timesheets for the town office.
I wanted to add one.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Yes, and I have something. Thank
Okay.
you.
So what I'm gonna add, and just for the public, and Tom and I have been working on an RFP for the replacement of the culvert on Goodyeville Road. It's the first culvert when you go across the road by the former greenhouse there. We've received a grant for that, and we've been working with the state, V-Trans, and also with A&R for the permits and whatnot. So that's ready to go, and that will be, we'll go out and post that tomorrow. So I just wanted to announce that, so to speak. There's a site visit for Wednesday the 18th, mandatory site visit, because it's fairly cumbersome, not cumbersome, but a big project. With a deadline, I don't have it in front of me, but mid-March as far as submitting the proposal.
What time is the site visit on the 18th?
9 o'clock. It's a Wednesday.
You don't know who's gonna join yet, though.
I don't know from any of the contractors' perspectives, but I know but Keith will be there for sure, Scott Jensen from
Scott will.
A&R, most likely Megan Brunk from V-Trans.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
Many times she attends those things. but-
Yeah, and Mark might be there too.
And Mark Becker, possibly.
Oh, okay, and you'll go? Or will you go? Okay.
Of course.
Just curious. Of course. Don't question.
Yeah, sure, I will.
But our hope is
All right.
that we will get that project done this summer. The grant is through the end of next summer though, so we have time if the
Time.
contractors
Yeah.
don't line up, but I don't see a problem with that.
Right. Perfect.
So that, yep.
All right, thank you for that. The other order of business that I am raising late is that our newest member, Les Robert, Christina Robinson, has moved. She's relocated as of effective today. So she is no longer eligible to serve on the board and has formally resigned.
Who's that?
Hmm?
You didn't say her name?
She did.
I did.
Okay,
Sorry.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, Christina.
Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. So I want to personally thank Christina for stepping in. It was at the last town meeting. We were basically without a fifth member even running until she raised her hand at the town meeting. So I thank her for that and thank her for her service while she remained a citizen of the town of Jamaica. And once again, we're down to 4, so calling for any volunteers that want to serve on the board. We are close to town meeting now, so it's a little less, and thank you, Robert, so much for volunteering your time. But we certainly need folks to run at the town meeting, and if someone's interested in serving, please let me know. But like I said, it's a couple meetings, so I think we're a little less desperate. You probably just, right, better to wait till town meeting, but if you're interested, let me know, or let any one of us know. Okay, with that, I will now make a motion to approve the timesheets for the staff of the town office, the listers, the highway crew, and the transfer station. Thank you. Any discussion of the, no? Okay, with all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The next is to approve the pay orders. A little thin this week.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing no questions. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, public concerns. I know we've had kind of a lively conversation during.
What's the status on the Depot Street Bridge at Water Street? The concrete bridge that's.
Oh, the concrete bridge.
We did meet with Keith last week, and he's thinking about facing it. Is that what he called it?
Right, so there's a couple of things,
They'll fix the concrete. They'll basically put forms up, pour concrete, so the sidewalk will be fixed.
And the walls too.
And the wall, basically.
So it's a maintenance.
It's a maintenance thing and it's a Band-Aid. They're not replacing the bridge, but it will.
so we did put that into the budget for this year, like I said,
Yeah,
maintenance, some of it's cosmetic, but some of it's,
Yeah.
the bridge itself does pass. It doesn't score a 10 or anything like that, it's a
nothing.
7
It's like
or something,
I
so.
thought it was even better.
It's solid concrete, it's not going anywhere. We just so everybody knows too, and many of you may already know, there's been a UVM civil engineering project involved, and they did some initial studies of the bridge and the hydraulic studies and things like that of the area. There's another group that's coming on now that's gonna take on another task of looking at it one step further. Their focus so far has been based on a lot of reality, that it's not very high on V-Trans list, and V-Trans is struggling to find money basically for all the projects out there. So this is a long-term time down the road. There's no date on that bridge when it's gonna be replaced. So they're looking at projects that will make or enhance the longevity of the bridge.
Yeah.
So we're taking one step toward that by just fixing the sidewalk and things like that.
It's good to know that, because also I've noticed since the deterioration of the concrete and stuff, that some rebar has popped up in
That's
the
exactly
walkway. And I think the last
Keith is.
time they plowed through, I think they cut that or.
It's unknown. I haven't seen it. I've looked over there because obviously that's where I live. But Keith is aware of it. Probably not going to do anything until spring when the stone.
No, I know.
Yeah, and they know not to. They know not to take the blow over that because
That's
it'll
why the
just
snowblower
rip the
not
thing
doing
apart,
the side.
bust all the pins out. So they're aware of it. But I don't know if there's like I said. He said when the spring comes, they'll get a grinder and cut it
Yeah,
out.
you'll see.
And then they'll put the new
concrete.
concrete on. So.
And that will enhance the life of the bridge too, by not having exposed rusting rebar. So it's not only cosmetic, but it will be.
Right.
At least something will last for a while until something does get done. The only other thing I noticed too, and it happened ever since Irene washed everything out, that the abutment at the concrete is starting to sink again. It's on this, my side, of the river, because you get a bump. You got a bump there, and over time, it's settling down.
Yes.
And what it is basically the settlement, the fill they put in was never compacted. Because I know, I've observed everything going on. It wasn't compacted completely, and they used a lot of big boulders and stuff, so it wasn't really done properly. So over time, you're getting settlement.
Right.
And that's what's creating that bump right at the concrete abutment edge.
Okay.
I mean, the approach of the bridge and stuff.
Right.
So when the plows go through, they're gonna hit it every time and stuff, I know. But just so that they're aware that maybe in the springtime, they may need to dig that out, the asphalt, and
Right.
pack it and
Mhm.
repave again.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Thanks.
All right.
Just a
No,
lot
thanks,
of
Bob.
Thank you.
Thanks. Karen?
Okay.
Can we talk about town reports and when people can expect to see the town
Sure,
reports?
town report, I approved the proof today, they're supposed to mail on the 16th, next Monday. But of course, that's a holiday, so on the 17th. But they will be, next week, they should be mailed, it takes a few days to get in, so you should have it probably around the 20th, around then, I'm guessing. And we've done all, that's all in process, so that's.
Town meeting is the first Tuesday of March, 10
Town
o'clock.
meeting is the 3rd of March.
And candidates night, so anyone running for positions. It's Sunday, March 1st here at 6 o'clock. And Wednesdays,
6 o'clock, you
5:30.
said?
6 o'clock, yes.
Okay.
There'll be some food, some snacks.
Refreshments will be
Yes.
served?
Yes.
And that'll go on the calendar.
It's on the calendar.
Oh, it's on the calendar.
It's been on for a
Oh,
week,
I'm
so I
like,
can-
all right.
So the
Great.
Jamaica
Thank you,
Village-
Karen.
Oh, no problem, it's, we have a group and,
No, it's great.
Okay.
Kind of fell off yeah.
no, we did it last year.
Did we?
We've done it each
Oh, we
year.
did. It was at Jamaica House.
Yes.
Why? But it was, yeah. I guess we should, I
Three
don't know. I think we need
So
to.
people should come out.
No.
Yeah,
There were
I
so many
mean,
people
so
there.
few last year.
But it's also
Remember?
asking
Even if you don't
questions.
plan on running, come on out.
Just
Let's talk
come.
to people and see
Right.
people.
Right.
Right.
Wednesdays, the Jamaica Run and Walk Club meets across the street at 3796 Vermont Route 30. You walk and run a distance, I'm not sure how much, but people seem to enjoy it. Wednesday night social.
When it's 0 degrees.
When it's negative. You up. Wednesday night socials at the Jamaica House are at 6 o'clock. Greg's wife Pat does a book club once a month. There's arts and crafts.
This week it's arts and crafts.
And then there's game night also.
This week it's arts and crafts.
Don't forget bingo at the Masonic Hall every Friday. And Sundays are yoga at 9 o'clock at the town hall.
Yes, we have a new yoga teacher.
Temporarily, yes.
Yes, right.
Mike is gone for a little while.
Right,
Jill
right.
is filling in.
Right.
Jill is great. She lives just down the road and both
Right.
live pretty close to each other.
Right.
They're neighbors.
Yeah,
And it's great.
Sunday at 9 a.m., right?
Yep.
yes,
Town.
awesome.
Okay.
That's it for now.
And
Okay, all right. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Each one's okay.